Do you know the women that men actually regret losing forever? It's never the ones who have cried or begged. It's the ones who left in silence. Because listen, men expect that you're going to be yelling and crying and begging. In fact, when you're doing all those things, they're in their little cushy comfort zone. Because if you're blowing up his phone and sending him all these long paragraphs, these long text messages, you're breaking down in front of him. He's thinking, perfect. I got it. I got the control. She still wants me. I have the power. But the women who actually shake these men to their core, they don't announce their exit. They do not even warn him. They don't talk about it. They just switch up. They create the distance and that's it. And here's what men cannot handle. It's when you stop explaining yourself to these grown-ass adults who know exactly what they're doing. When your silence says, I am not competing for a spot in your life anymore, honey, that's when he finally realizes, like, oh shit, I lost her. What you need to understand is that Maserati doesn't run commercials because value doesn't chase attention. It commands it. The same goes for you. When your standards finally mean more to you than his attention, that's when the game's end.
Let's talk about 5 things that high-value women never do in relationships. Number 1, they never beg for effort or attention. High-value women know their worth and know what they deserve, and they're not going to settle for the bare minimum. They're not just going to linger there and beg for respect. Instead of begging a guy to step up, she simply just lets him lose her. Number 2, they never accept inconsistency. If he's hot and cold about things, she's not going to stick around. She doesn't have time to be decoding mixed signals. Number 3, she'll never lose herself in the relationship. She will maintain her independence, her career, her goals, her friendships. She's not going to let the relationship take over everything. Number 4, they never stay when they're feeling unappreciated. The moment she has to try to force a man to understand her value is the moment she knows that's no longer her place. And number 5, she never settles for potential. A high-value woman doesn't date a man that could be good for her. She dates a man that is good for her. She's not a rehab center for emotionally unavailable men. Ladies, every single one of you watching this could be a high-value woman. You just have to raise your standards. Anyways, this is the final makeup look. Love you guys.
You know what a high-value woman looks like? She looks like a woman that has boundaries, like firm boundaries with men. She looks like a woman that doesn't give 2 chances. She looks like a woman that says no to things that she does not want to do. She looks like a woman that moves on if not treated properly. This is the kind of woman you need to become in order for you to become a high-value woman. Women that give chances, that lack boundaries, that don't have self-respect are always the women to unfortunately get played by men. The women that I'm talking about that are so magnetic and high value are women that literally move on if they feel they are slighted or disrespected or are taken advantage of. That is the kind of girl you need to become. You need to start setting firm boundaries. You need to start saying no. You need to move on if you feel like you're disrespected. No more given chances, no more playing nice. This is how you get the life that you want, especially with men. This is how you get the man that you want. The universe is always testing you to see if you're going to take disrespect. And when you allow disrespect, it'll send you more of that so that you learn your lesson and you step into the version of you that doesn't allow that.
Women who know their value never talk about it. They just align their actions and behaviors with their knowledge of their worth. For example, if you know you are too good for something, if someone treated you in a way or is talking to you in a way that you know you are above and too good for, you are not going to discuss that. You do not have to explain to that person, I am too good for this. Instead, you're just going to walk away from it gracefully, quietly, because you know, I am too good for this. And in knowing their value, in knowing that they are too good for this thing, they're not going to explain themselves. They're not going to meet you where you are. They're just going to walk away. And they most certainly are not going to be with a man who asks them what they bring to the table, because a woman who knows her value has no problem going to the table and eating alone. You will only ever find a woman who truly knows her value, either 1, alone at the table, or 2, at the table with a man who didn't need her to prove anything to him. She's going to be at the table by herself, confidently, or with someone who knows her value and treats her properly.
These are things that high vibrational women do. First, and probably most important, decenter men. Once you stop focusing all of your energy around men, your energy is going to skyrocket. Hear me out, girls. Less alcohol. Lower that alcohol intake, I swear. The less alcohol, the less brain fog, the more clarity, the higher the frequency you are going to radiate. You're not distracted, you're not avoidant, you are fully present and aware of your body and your surroundings. I cannot stress this one enough. Curate your circle. Be so picky with your friendships. People that align with your growth are only going to raise your vibrations. And on the opposite end of that, people that do not align with you are always going to lower your vibration. What you are feeding your mind matters. Ingesting specific content, making sure that you are watching inspiring things that inspire you to grow, things that inspire you to create, to be better. Something that always lowers my vibration. I can't watch scary movies anymore. I can't watch all of the negativity. I can't watch hypersexual things. It's all just so low vibrational and none of it really pertains to my life. So none of it is adding to my life. Of course, I love entertainment, but I think to a certain extent, it can also really affect your mind. So being very careful with what you're ingesting. Setting clear boundaries with people and having high standards is high vibrational. I think it's very important to stick to your boundaries and your standards. Don't ever lower them for anybody just because you feel guilty. Stick to your values, stick to your truth, because the right person will never want to change that. This goes for people that are spiritual or curious about spirituality. Tapping into your spirituality will bring in your highest vibration. Praying every single day, trusting in God or the universe, whatever you believe, that your path is clear, and not questioning anything that comes up in life. Pray every single day, pray every single night. If you're depressed, pray. If you're anxious, pray. If you're happy, pray. If you're grateful, pray. I cannot stress enough. The more I pray, the more blessings that come into my life, the better I feel. Like light will just exude out of you when you start putting light into you.
Look, ladies, if you really have high standards, you will never have to tell a man. He will already intuitively know. Men can pick up on the fact whether or not women are within their standards fairly quickly. Take it from me, there's zero reason for you to shout your boundaries to the world. A woman with high standards carries herself with such a poise, and she has this energy that just speaks for itself. It's why I said men will just know intuitively. The girl who's always shouting about how she has such high standards and will never let a man do this or never let a man do that or break this or whatever the heck it is usually the first to break her own boundaries. We all know that girl. A high-value woman and a woman with high standards will not have to tell a man what he did wrong. She will simply leave. The need to chase a man when he pulls away absolutely repulses her. It's not a green light for her to try and prove her self-worth. So if you ever feel like you have to ask a man for princess treatment, you're not acting like a princess. So be about your business. If he doesn't approach you, it's because he knows that you aren't within his reach. And that's fine, because another man will step up to the plate. Just keep doing you.
Dating a woman who's not only strict, but knows her value. She does not play, Baba. She will leave you. She will block you. She can leave you because she knows that she can date just another man like you in a minute like this, because she knows her value. Which is why I think strict men and women who know their value should date each other. Hey, are we lapo? I wasn't even going. I was not even going. But for real, guys, if you ever date a strict girlie, just pray. Because those girls don't play, guys. Haven't replied 5 hours? Blocked. Canceling a date? Blocked. I feel like you don't give me the things you deserve? Block.